Welcome to the StudioPTBO podcast. We are back, and we are back with another guest. I've said once or twice, this is a year full of guests, but this is a year full of great guests.
Yeah, we're pumping out a lot of great shows this year, and we said we were going to do that, and we're trying to tape like one podcast a week. And Bobby Kelly is in the house today. Thanks for joining us, Bobby.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and Bobby is the SEO king of like Whippy, if not Canada, right? You like that, Bobby?
I'm not really royalty. I'm a man of the people.
Yeah, man of the people. Bobby's specialty is SEO. We're going to call this episode like the most SEO friendly podcast ever, like something that's going to get us ever. Right, Bob? You're going to help us with this.
That's right. And so we should start using a lot of synonyms like search engine optimization and user experience improvement. And
yeah, this will be a very robotic episode.
Just stuff it with keywords.
Okay, let's do it. So tell us about SEO. Like, for the people who are kind of rookies in this sphere, like what does SEO mean and why is it important, and why did Bobby get into this?
All right. Well, I kind of got into SEO reluctantly and by accident. But I've actually been doing it for quite a while. I started web design development in like 97. And it was a hard slog selling.
You're telling me
websites.
in 97 selling websites?
Yeah. But at that point, I just learned to do it myself because I thought it was cool and I thought it'd be useful being in a band to be able to market yourself and distribute your music online.
Yeah, great idea.
But later on, my career sort of developed into like programming and then later more into hardcore sort of marketing. So SEO is about search engine optimization and being able to be found on the search engines. And you do that by, first of all, making sure your website works. Because if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter if you're not found. And of course, Google's not going to find you if your website doesn't work. And a lot of my love for SEO comes from actually, it's not about, it's really about the fundamentals, which SEO is really headed towards. It started with just like stuffing keywords and making sure you're getting backlinks. Back in the early 2000s, when I created a website for a client, I would put every other client I created a website in the footer of that website because I knew that it would,
you were an
give
early
them
adopter.
a bump. Yeah, but I mean, later on, that was
old
considered
school.
black hat SEO.
Yeah. Huh.
And Google updates its algorithm, and people don't do that anymore. But if you're doing that nowadays, they're going to penalize your website.
So if I Google Rockstar plus Whippy, is Bobby Kelly going to turn up first?
No, there's so many in my area.
It's interesting to me that you started the SEO craze or your own venture into that world because of a band. You wanted your own band to turn up high?
Well, back in those days, it was more about just getting your music online and being able to market your music. And I saw I'm reluctantly going to have a career not in music. So I might as well.
You went through that phase too,
right?
I
went through it as well.
Both of these guys had rock bands went at one point.
Well, it's just you have to decide if you're going to sleep on a couch or and have crappy instruments.
Craft dinner every day.
Yeah. Or if you're going to make a living.
Yep.
And have great instruments.
Totally.
So that's how I got into it. It wasn't really about like getting found. There's not really a lot of opportunity. SEO is not right for every business.
Yeah, sure.
For a band, it's you need to make sure that your lyrics can be found in case they don't know your band name. You need to make sure your band name can be found, and that floats to the top. But there's not really a lot of opportunity for bands.
How did your band score on SEO, Cody?
I have no clue, man. Like we were.
What was the band's name?
New Beginning. We were like hardcore, like into like screaming and yelling and. SEO.
So yeah, if we Google that, I don't know, it would score pretty high in Chatham. What's the name of your band, Bobby, that you're in now? Let's plug your band.
The House Call.
The House Call.
Yeah.
Okay, is that SEO friendly? Because it seems like it. It has different connotations too, doesn't it? A house call?
Well, first you come up with a great acronym.
Yeah.
THC, and then you build a name around it, right?
Like, that's awesome. In reverse.
STP, Stone Temple Pilots. You know?
Yeah,
they just
so
saw the
true.
logo in the garage.
Totally.
And they're like,
it's all about the branding.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like when it comes to SEO and it comes to a business, what is the advice that you're giving business owners right now that would be the most valuable piece of advice that you can give to them on the podcast?
First, it's the fundamentals. So you have to fix your website, and a lot of that has to do with it being fast. And then it also has to do with the message that you're getting across to people coming to your website. Often it's like generic messages that people are using in the title tags, and they're not even writing a description which is showing up in search engines. Or the description that they have there is just grabbing it from the copy of the website.
Yeah.
And we saw that actually with a client of yours down the street.
Yeah.
That it was grabbing a testimonial.
Oh. Okay.
And then, so you see that in a search engine, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So they're not going to click through. So what I start with is like auditing the website and a lot of the on-page factors of like, are they using title tags and meta descriptions properly? Are they taking full advantage of the keywords that they should be putting into there? And are they doing marketing properly where they're compelling people to click through?
Now, a lot of this stuff goes over a lot of people's heads. Like, so like, when you get into like the term remarketing and even the term of like, even SEO, like people understand, like, if they look it up on Google, what is SEO, it'll tell them. Like, how do business owners in a 2019 environment navigate through what is like crap and what is actually, substance. Yeah, exactly. Because like, it's so difficult because everyone nowadays, anyone can call themselves a marketer. Like they could be like, I'm a Facebook ad specialist, or I'm I'm an SEO specialist, or I build websites. Like, there's so many freelancers popping up. How do you think business owners can sift through, what is good SEO and what's bad SEO?
It really comes down to not the vanity metrics, and even that term businesses aren't necessarily going to understand. But a vanity metric is something that makes you feel good. Yeah. But it's just on the surface, right?
Totally. Candy.
Yeah. So a vanity metric would be like how many hits your website is getting. And, I said I started SEO kind of reluctantly. Like, I tried to launch to small business doing analytics. That's not sexy. They don't want that. Yeah. They want to grow their business. Yeah. And SEO is associated with growing their business. But because we're analytics experts in Web Marketing Pro. So what we start with is like, what's the outcome we want from SEO? Well, we want to get leads. We want to get people filling out a contact form. We want them downloading a white paper, which they have to give up contact information. Like we want leads. We want business from it.
Totally.
So we have to measure that. Yeah. And then once we do that, then we can see what marketing tactics, whether it's SEO or remarketing, organic social or paid social, any of those tactics, we can see what is driving the results. And then what within those tactics is driving the results. So specific to SEO, it has to do with the sort of products or services that you offer.
Do you see a lot of business owners like that you talk to not really like thinking about analytics and like thinking about where are these leads coming from? Like, I know for us, like we talk to a lot of businesses on a regular basis and they don't know where their traffic or where their business is coming from. Right. They don't have a clear understanding of, they came from social, or it came from this contact form, or it came from here. Like, do you see a lot of that happening right now within the industry?
Yeah. And it's, I think to a previous podcast where Cody admitted to losing your favorite book. And
Confessions of an Ad Man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I bought
so-
it though. I bought it
You
again.
bought me a new one, but it's not the same as the dog-eared
It's
one.
better.
And I love that you brought that up
And
again.
I recently read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
But there's this old saying in the advertising business is like, I know that half my advertising is working. I just don't know which half.
Yeah.
And that's not really acceptable in today's world, especially for online. It's totally unacceptable.
I say you don't need to throw shit at the wall anymore, right?
Yeah.
You can actually get.
Well, you do, but you need to know exactly what shit sticks.
Okay.
You still experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Right?
Yeah.
It's still testing, but it's more
Right.
micro testing. It's more micro testing than it's ever been. Usually in the past, what would happen is a brand would create a $200,000 advertisement. And that $200,000 advertisement would be a 30-second spot on TV.
That's the only option.
And that was the only option.
Yeah.
And that was really throwing shit at the wall because you didn't know whether or not that advertisement was going to stick. Where now you can become more micro with remarketing, retargeting,
Totally.
even what you're doing with SEO.
Business owners are smart.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that are like have stores or interact with their clients.
They're observing and listening, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's value in the when they say like I'm going by my gut, like this is my tribe, these are my people, these
Totally.
are who I want to target. So we can take that online and then we start experimenting and we see what converts. And we do that by first setting up analytics. And then we do it by, doing all these marketing tactics and seeing which ones work. We slice it
Test
all
and
up
learn,
to
test and
understand.
learn.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, did you buy that book because you heard the podcast where Cody lost my
I did.
book on a plane?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you're like an influencer because
Yeah.
you left
Just
my
like
book on a
Mike-
plane to
yeah,
LA.
yeah.
And I do recommend it to people. It's sort of my Bible of advertising. David Ogilvy wrote it, a pioneer in the advertising marketing industry. It's called Confessions of an Advertising Man, and it's an iconic book, and it's required reading in here. Cody's read it, Nora's read it, you've read it. It's fabulous. So David Ogilvy, I'm plugging you from I know you're listening from up above, but he's an icon. I have to ask you, so SEO, pre-social. So I worked at Shift magazine back in the day, and technology magazine, sort of exploring digital culture. And the only way for us back in the day really to be discovered too was, SEO was a huge part of our strategy. And then social media comes along. Yeah. So some people sort of feel like, SEO, pushed to the side because of the social media age, that everyone's going to find you on social media. What I've come to learn through my dealings with you is that like they're equally important, and kudos to you because you've managed to hack my attention why SEO is still important. So can you tell the consumer or the business owner why social media and SEO are, they need to go hand in hand as a strategy?
Yeah.
Or do they?
They do. SEO typically is for capturing people that aren't aware of your business, and sucking them into your sphere. The same things that go into SEO go into social. Like you're creating content for SEO, you're creating it for social. If you do it very well, it doesn't matter if it's on your own platform, your website, it's called SEO, but you can do SEO on LinkedIn as well. Like I get so many calls from recruiters because I've taken the same approach to LinkedIn that I took for websites to Google.
Interesting.
And
what is that approach?
On LinkedIn?
Yeah, like what are you doing on LinkedIn? Because I think it's an underutilized platform right now. Like a lot of more people are posting content.
Yeah,
on
we
LinkedIn.
are. We're posting our content.
Yeah,
there,
but what is your
doing?
strategy?
Yeah.
What does your strategy look like on LinkedIn?
Well,
hashtags?
No. It's very heavy on keywords and using absolutely every field that LinkedIn allows you to use. But it's also in keeping your content fresh. They have an algorithm. I don't think it's quite as mature as Google's, but I'm sure there's more that goes into that algorithm every month. Totally. So you've got to keep your content fresh within LinkedIn. You've got to keep your profile fresh. Like, I'm just talking about my personal profile.
Just like personal profile of like just like the content you're posting directly to the platform.
Right. So one specific thing that I did many years ago was, I've worked in the analytics space for like almost 10 years now. And I started putting every tool that I had ever worked with in there. And also tools that they are like.
Oh, okay.
So that's
like in your actual
related.
profile. So like you're actually going into your profile and actually physically changing.
Like I have experience with, I would say, like Data Studio and Domo, and that's like ClickSense and all these other BI platforms.
Interesting.
And like the way I word it, like I'm being honest. Like I have experience with this, and those tools are like this. So as someone reading that, they're like, oh, well, yeah, they're perfect for this job.
Interesting.
Right? And that approach can be done on websites.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like related on Netflix. If you like this, then you like this too, sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really clever, man.
That's how it allows you to use those keywords.
Yeah.
Without saying that I have direct experience in it, because you're saying it's like that.
I love it. So if you think of content as similar, like SEO is not as sexy, obviously, as social media, but you're saying if you think of content in the same way as a business owner, it is equally as important. The content you deploy for SEO strategy as on social media, right?
Yeah, like there's a lot of parallels between social and SEO. Like there's on-page aspects of social. Like your page should have a title. It should have one and only one H1. That's your big header at the top.
Yep.
It should have H2 tags as well. It should, in the paragraph, you've got to have content and you've got to give value to the people that are reading it, so they stay on the page.
Yeah.
And on social, like you should be using all the things that like Facebook gives you to like put it in your business address and use this space for your brand and or your photos, and you can have like buy now buttons, and so there's on-page sort of aspects to social as well. But then at the end of the day, like you have to have content that is valuable, that people like people have questions if they want to enter into a business relationship. They've got some qualifying questions.
Totally.
Usually they don't want to like just talk to you, and like they want to figure that out for themselves.
Yeah, totally.
So if you can answer those questions, whether it be on social or whether it be on
your
SEO,
website, build a relationship
you're
with
going to
them.
win in both of those platforms.
Yeah.
No, that's totally true. Like, like I love how you put that, because, oftentimes I would rather go to YouTube and search on how to do this than to physically go and ask someone how to do something.
Right.
It's that weird feeling of like, like I could probably just ask the person next to me how to do this, but I'm gonna go to YouTube to figure out how to do it. It's like I don't know if it's an ego thing or it's weird. Like it just feels more comfortable asking those questions to YouTube than it does to the person standing next to you that might have the answer.
Yeah, and
that's why Cody never asked me questions.
No, I'd never ask you questions at all.
Other than, how was your day, Neil? And
how was your day?
How was your next plaid shopping excursion? Yeah,
you're finally wearing plaid.
Yeah, I know. I've weaned myself off it, but I'm back today. Yeah.
Why?
It's a long story,
Giving it
Bobby.
up for
That's
Lent,
another
or-
podcast. Yeah, I'm a hoodie guy right now. But
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to be defined by any fashion.
And any
I love your
piece
Vans
of
though.
apparel.
I want Bobby's sneakers. Show the camera your sneakers.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go, right
there. And we'll tag Vans in this, Electric City Rob, and Vans will send me sneakers. But yeah, no, it's really, so how do Bobby works with us at StudioPTBO a lot, works with our clients. You're talking about earlier about a web audit. So what does that look like? Is this like a CRA audit, Bobby, or is this a lot?
Don't get me started about the CRA.
No, it's don't
I'm
get
much
you started on
more
that.
Business owners don't want that.
The web audit can be intimidating, but walk us through the value of that, because we're actually, offering that service to clients now a lot. And what does that look like?
So on, I guess like the sort of 15-second spiel about that is like, is your website ready to get traffic?
Okay.
Does it work? Is it functional? Is it fast? Are you using like all the on-page elements properly? Like, do you have calls to action on your website. Like, business owners are great at doing their business because they've got expertise, but like they didn't go into business to be marketers, right? So it's not just like a sort of website SEO audit, but it's a marketing audit as well.
Call, yeah.
We'll look at a lot of business owners start running their own Google ads, and they dump people on the homepage, and they're trying to convert people before
they built a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we look at those things, and basically throughout the audit, we're building a plan for what they should be doing and where the opportunities are for their business.
Ideal stage to do a website audit is at the beginning before you launch, right? Like to look after all that stuff, to think about all this. But you're saying,
you got to have the capability to change. Like there's no point doing an audit if you're not going to do anything about it.
But you do them with literally websites that have been around, 3 to 5 years, 10. Like it doesn't matter. The most important thing is you do one at some stage, right? An audit, like to really dig deep and look at all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong.
What's great about it is that it's low cost to do the audit, but there's lots of value in the business owner to take it away. And if they're a do-it-yourself kind of person where they've got a bootstrap company, they don't have a lot of budget, but they have some time and they have some comfortableness of doing these types of things, they get a whole list of things to do.
Totally.
And we have a few clients that have walked away with that, and they're very grateful that they can start moving their business forward and maturing digitally. For the clients that they're a bit more mature in their business and they want to get it done for them, then we can start executing on that plan that's built with the audit.
Love it. I want to talk about, to finish up here, audio.
Yep.
Audio SEO, video SEO. So we're locked into that right now. StudioPTBO, we have an audio tag now. We do podcasts. We know the future in the next 3 to 5 years. It's coming, like the world of Alexa and Google.
And that being said, it's already kind of here. Like it's here. It's
but
just not at scale. Yeah.
Yet, at the end consumer, not yet.
Yeah.
So what does that look like, and what should a strategy be beyond traditional means of SEO in terms of audio and video?
Yeah.
Doing this kind of
like the future is here. It's just not well distributed.
Yeah, totally.
So
marketers ruin everything. Like literally they ruin everything. So we as marketers are going to figure out a way to actually get our message in front of people. Podcasts right now are pretty much ad free. Like they're like, other than Spotify like has Spotify Premium in order to get rid of ads, and like YouTube, but there's also product placements and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So what it's going to look like in the future is very much starting with what it looks like now. And let me give you a story about me cooking a roast chicken dinner.
Okay. Oh man, this sounds delicious. I'm starving.
Yeah. So I forgot to put it in on time. I had a meeting. It went late, and I had to go pick up the girls from daycare. So I was like, how can I? It's a whole chicken. Okay.
And you had to grab a beer and go and get Vans.
So I looked roast chicken at $4.50 because I know you're supposed to cook at like $3.50, $3.75. But I found this. I asked my Google Home, like, okay, Google, chicken recipes at 450 degrees, and it gave me an answer. It said.
Swiss Chalet.
If I was Swiss Chalet, if I was Swiss Chalet, I would be attacking, attention right there, being
just
like,
say,
that's what I'm getting
don't
at
do
here.
that. You don't want to do that. Just you're late already. Just order it. It'll be there in 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. That's so good.
Yeah. Well, it gave me an answer. Yeah. It said, start it at 450 for 15 minutes, and then cook it. I think it was like at 350 for, I guess, 10 minutes per pound or something like that. And it said, look in your Google Assistant for a link to the page. Wow. So not only are you getting the answer, because if you just, when Google delivers the answer, whether it be through audio or through the knowledge graph and the snippets where you don't have to click through a web page, like that website doesn't really benefit from it, right? But if you go to the website, then they can deliver an ad to me and they get paid.
Totally.
or they can sell their service to me, right? So what we'll work on is who is the best marketing company in Peterborough?
Well,
okay, Google, who is the best?
I'm a little too close to answer that. But yeah. But we are aiming for that. So Studio PTBO, we do these podcasts. We have an audio tag, which we can show maybe in the episode. Maybe Rob can do that. But it's all adding up, right? You're saying it's coming, right? It's here, but it's coming.
It's already here. It's just not a lot of people are using it. It's like Facebook in 2006, right?
Right.
It was there. Like even YouTube in 2006 was there.
Right.
A lot of people jumped off of YouTube, went to Vidler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then realized very quickly that was a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Google Assist future is riding on roast chicken queries. That's what we're saying here. But when I said Swiss Chalet, I was only half joking, right? That is the future. So Swiss Chalet will want to hack your attention, right? Or Saint Hubert, or however you say it, like all these chicken places. If they're really smart, the branding people,
that's where they're
companies, that's where they're already
100%.
Don't forget, like Google wants a piece of this as well.
Sure,
like they want to
100%. They do
a piece of our chicken.
Well, like Google was super smart last year. So when I was in the retail space, Google literally slashed all their prices on all their Google Homes during Christmas to get those Google Homes into people's homes as Alexa gifts instead of Alexa. Alexa was already Alexa was kind of first to market in that from a larger brand standpoint. They got their Google Homes in the home, and now they're just collecting information. Information is at the end of the day is the commodity.
100%. Yeah.
So that's what people are chasing is information. Yeah. So I think really what it comes down to, what's unique is like how will marketers over the next 3, 5, 10 years figure out ways and different ad platforms to essentially advertise. We were talking earlier today about, YouTube pre-rolls, YouTube in-stream ads, Facebook ads. There's so many different ways to advertise. It'll be interesting when audio is in its no longer in its infancy.
It's on par with those guys, right?
100%. Because Facebook advertising, everyone's like, let's advertise there. Let's advertise Facebook, Google AdWords, SEO still obviously, super important. But it'll be interesting over the next 3 to 5 years to see how audio, kind of can have the potential to link back to that search engine optimization. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
I wish I had a crystal ball.
Spotify is already pushing their
ads.
Their ads. I see it in my Facebook stream.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Spotify Ad Studio.
Yeah.
It's
here.
Yeah. Like a lot. I'm surprised, like the technology for like people really headphones haven't really evolved as a technology. Like screens do first. I think they're a lot more addictive, but we're just starting to see people start to love their Beats and Bose and
Apple AirPods.
And finally wireless headphones. Like, why did that take so long? But now that
didn't take the Walkman that long. We're all over that. So this is our audio tag. So that's, we want eventually people to identify Studio PTBO with this audio tag. Sorry, Electric City. Rob's like, okay.
Rob's like,
don't get too
stop.
excited.
Yeah.
But it's, we're trying to be, how do people find out more about you and your services, Bobby Kelly, and your rock band?
The rock band is thehousecall.rocks. And we're everywhere. Do
you do original material or cover songs?
Original.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's genre like?
It's modern blues rock.
Okay.
Like, we've been very fortunate to open up for bands like Big Sugar and 5440.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
And Philosopher Kings.
Rock on.
Wow. Yeah. And you played at the Red Dog recently, didn't you? Historic Red Dog? Or
we
played
did.
somewhere
We
in
played
Peterborough?
there with the Lazies and the Standstills.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Yeah. So book this guy. He's a rock star. And so SEO wise, how do people find you?
Yeah, during the day, during the day.
The side hustle.
The side hustle, yeah.
Yeah, well, it allows to pay for those Germany tours. Is the webmarketingpro.ca business stuff. Webmarketingpro.ca.
Okay.
And of course, we're taking a picture today, right?
Yeah.
So we can get on the Studio PTBO website.
I'm doing a photo
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Bobby. Really appreciate you stopping by today and talking SEO with us and talking all things ads. Neil, thank you for playing that audio tag 5 times. I really appreciate that. And they're going to hear it at the end of the video, too.
Well, you'll be happy in 5 years from now that I played on this episode because we're going to turn up one step higher in audio rankings because I did that.
You heard it here first, Rob.
Did you register with SoCan?
Yeah. Did you register? You better hope that's royalty free.
Bleep.
Thank you for tuning into the Studio PTBO podcast. We will see you soon.